Let me ask you something. Have you ever poured your soul into someone, given them your best, and they still looked at you like you were disposable? That pain, it's not just heartbreak. It's a betrayal of your worth. A silence where love should have been. A cold shoulder when all you ever gave was warmth. And yet you stayed, not because you were weak, but because you believed. You believed that love could fix what was broken. You believed that loyalty would make them see your value. But let me tell you something today, something you may not want to hear but need to hear. Staying where you're not valued is how you teach yourself to forget your own worth. And letting go of someone who doesn't value you, that's not loss. That's liberation. There comes a moment in your life when you look in the mirror and realize that you've been waiting far too long for someone else to validate you. You've been measuring your worth through their eyes, through their behavior, through their silence. And somewhere in that process, you forgot who you are. You forgot how powerful, how beautiful, how rare you truly are. You gave pieces of yourself to people who didn't have the capacity to appreciate even a fraction of your soul. And let me tell you something that may sting a little, but will set you free. Their inability to see your worth was never a reflection of your value. It was a reflection of their limitation. Some people can't see the sun even when it's shining right in front of them because they've been living in darkness so long, they've grown comfortable with the shadows. You were the light, but they kept their eyes shut. So now you sit here feeling like you were never enough, but the truth is, you were too much for someone who wasn't ready. You brought loyalty, love, forgiveness, and presence into the room, and they were looking for entertainment. You offered something real, and they were only ready to play pretend. And yet, you still question yourself. You still wonder, what could I have done differently? That question will haunt you if you let it. But here's the reality. You did what you could. You loved with the best of you. You showed up even when it hurt. You stayed loyal in silence. But love is not about bleeding for someone who won't even offer you a bandage. Your worth was never meant to be proven. It was meant to be recognized. Stop shrinking to fit into spaces that were never built for you. Stop giving the most sacred parts of you to people who only know how to take. It's not your job to convince someone to value you. It's your job to walk in your worth, whether they see it or not. You're not a product on a shelf waiting to be chosen. You're not a resume waiting for approval. You are not a test someone else gets to grade. You are a divine creation, a masterpiece. And masterpieces don't need explanations. They need protection. So why are you letting people walk in and out of your life like your heart is a hotel room? Why are you giving second, third, fourth chances to people who never deserved the first one? That's not kindness. That's self-neglect. And deep down, you know it. You see, when you forget your worth, you start negotiating your standards. You start lowering the bar just to keep someone around. You become silent to avoid confrontation. You sacrifice your peace for a presence that brings you pain. And every time you do that, a part of you starts to dim. Your spirit gets quieter. Your smile becomes forced. Your laughter becomes rare, and yet you convince yourself that this is love. No, that's not love. That's survival. That's you holding on to the hope that maybe, just maybe, one day they'll finally see you. But baby, if they haven't seen you by now, they're not going to. And that's not because you aren't visible. It's because they were never meant to be your mirror. Your worth does not rise or fall based on who stays or who walks away. Your value doesn't change because someone didn't choose you. You are not defined by who couldn't love you right. You are not broken just because they didn't see your beauty. Sometimes the blessing is in the rejection. Sometimes the lesson is in the loss, because it pushes you to see yourself clearly again, to remember the power you carry, to realize that your heart is not a discount store where people come and go looking for deals. No, your love is sacred. Your soul is precious. And the moment you start living like you know that, your whole life begins to shift. You don't have to yell your worth. You don't have to prove it with explanations, text, or desperate attempts to win someone's attention. If they can't see what you bring to the table, let them eat alone. If they don't recognize your heart, stop handing it to them. You don't chase love, you become love. And the right people, they won't need convincing. They'll value you the moment they feel your presence, not because of what you can do for them, but because of who you are. So start walking like your time is sacred. Start living like your energy is expensive. And most importantly, start loving yourself so loudly that anyone who comes into your life will know how to treat you by how you treat yourself. You've cried enough. You've waited long enough. Now it's time to rise. Not to prove anything to anyone, but to remind yourself that you were always the prize. The mistake was never loving too hard. The mistake was thinking you had to work to earn love when you already were love. The mistake was staying too long in places that couldn't hold your spirit. And that ends now. No more begging to be seen. No more lowering your voice so others feel comfortable. No more playing small. You were born to take up space. You were born to shine. Not everyone will clap for you. Not everyone will celebrate you. But you don't need everyone. You just need to stop doubting yourself. When someone doesn't value you, it's not your job to make them. It's your job to step back and protect your peace.